All right. So for both of you, the main things that we're going to work on is and Rich, you started to get this the last session with Daytona, was seeing how much earlier we had to have the bike in place, and again, the whole taking away lean angle deal. But for both you guys, I want to see a more deliberate effort of using the brakes to get direction rather than either not getting direction or using lean angle to get direction. So this is going to be this will be a drill at first. This will be a drill at first, and the drill at first is I don't really care. We're not looking for like a lap time or anything, and I don't. But the idea is that we'll accelerate, and then the drill will be, I want you to turn in, and then once you turn in, I don't want the wheel to move, but I want you to get direction with the brakes. So I'll show you up here in 2.
This is exactly what I was hoping you'd do.
Yeah, so it's like this. So as we come in here, I go to the brakes early. I'm on the brakes. I now turn in, and then watch. I just add brake pressure. See how it sucked the car right down?
Yes.
We need, everybody in this car, including myself, needs to work on that and realize what the brake does to make that happen. And of course, different corners call for a different subtleness with that. Like here in 3, right? I go to the brakes, I turn in, and now look, I just control the direction with the brake pedal. I just want you to be able to feel that. So here in 4, because the radius is tighter, the pedal has to move faster. Turn, brakes.
Oh, yeah, okay, makes sense.
So this is why initially when we drove, the initial brake is so important, because if you're coming in here and trying to do this and you're, right, then everything gets all screwed up, or it gets to be aggressive. So this is why even at the super high levels, it's just, remember, the initial stays the same, but there'll just be less time. So here, I get into it, go to the brakes, I build, look, I can build more, right? But the wheel didn't move. And but again, the initial. The difference is, as your speed picks up, the only thing that's going to change is the amount of time before initial braking and more of the braking for direction. Because like here, and to give you an example, I can go to the brakes super early. I'm on the brakes. I'm on the brakes, and then I can turn in and add brake pressure. So the initial brake was just longer because I allowed it to be longer, but the pressure at turn in, right? The pressure as we got to the slowest point was the same. So look here, I'm on the brakes. I turn in, and I add brakes. So that's the feeling I want everybody to be able to have, is letting the brakes dictate that. So ultimately, when we're riding, ultimately, yes, you will be adding more lean angle, because we'll be able to do both. But for the purposes of this drill, what we want to be able to do is go to the brakes, great, turn in, and then add brake pressure to get direction. I don't care how fast you're going at the slow point. I don't care how fast you're going at the apex. I just need this feeling nailed. So I just want you guys to be able to feel this turn in, add brake pressure. And the whole idea is that once we get up to speed with this after a couple of laps, that if it's done correctly, we'll be able to add some brake pressure, add throttle as we go past the apex. And then later on, as we develop this, by tomorrow and the 3rd day, I want you guys in the ABS doing this. So like here, I'm on the brakes, right? I'll turn in, and then, right? I want to be able to control, I want to be able to feel threshold braking, feel the tires talking to you, and make that happen. Good? All right, so Jason, you're up. You do a couple laps.